I think I was just gonna like fry like a baked potato. That doesn't make sense because baked potatoes are baked, not fried. Alright then, yeah, have a good day. I'll let you know how it all goes. I don't want to do this. This morning is moderation. I look like I'm relaxed. I'm not relaxed at all. I'm scared. I'm scared. Also, what is going on with my fringe? I feel like it's not one of my vlogs unless I'm complaining about my hair in some form. It desperately needs cutting. I haven't had time to schedule it in. Also, I might hunch forward like that. It's really not a good idea. I've still got quite a lot of back pain. Like, it's not as bad. Oh, I say that. It's still pretty bad. Ouch. It's nowhere near as bad as what it was though. Ow. Bending that way is not a good idea. Ouch, I've lost my phone. Oh, that's not a phone. Ow. Ow, ow. What the heck did I do with my phone? I literally just had it in my hand. This is like the story of my life. Oh, it was underneath a cushion. It's ridiculous. What time is it? Holy shit, I'm gonna be late. I'm late. I'm late. You'll have to excuse this poor excuse over here. I bought this plant pot online, didn't realise how big it was going to be, and it completely dwarfs my aloe vera plant, which I think it's dying. Like, when I bought it, it was a little bit scraggly and beaten up, and I was hoping I'd be able to revive it. I know nothing about plants, and I think it's just, you know, I think it's just dead. Moderation is done. Thank God. That is one less stress. Can tick that off the list of things to get done by the end of the year. So, what's next? PGL, residential, Friday, today's Wednesday. I still haven't packed my bag. So, anyway, I was meant to do, oh God, you can see my sweaty underarms. Just put this down. It's really hot in here, that's my excuse. I should be packing my bag for PGL, but I can't be bothered. Anyway, reading. I literally just spoiled everything. Spoilers! So, I've got to try and do this without dropping it all over the floor. They're all kind of feel-good, romancy, kind of summery, exciting things. I need something light and fluffy in my life because I've been through a lot the last sort of, even just the last couple of weeks. But certainly the last sort of 2-3 years, I have been through hell and back, to put it lightly. Let's just say that. Mentally, physically, my body just, how it's still functioning, I don't know. But yeah, I am still here, just about. But I just need something light and fluffy to keep me going. Here for the drama, as if I didn't have enough drama this year. I'm not necessarily going to read the books in any order, but this just is the pile order, so let's go. It's about, basically, I believe she's a PA, yeah, famous PA for playwright Juliet. Winnie D'Angelo has spent the last 7 years behind the scenes fetching coffee, soothing egos, and buying birthday presents, putting her own dreams on hold once again to cater for Juliet's every whim. It's so easy, I think, to put your dreams on hold and to kind of just go through the motions. Your job can take over. I definitely know that from experience. So I'm kind of intrigued to see sort of how this character breaks out of that and what happens, because she basically falls for someone. How cute. So yeah, dashing nephew Liam from England. Hello, hot accent. Does that work for girls as well? I feel like I hate my accent. I hate how I sound. I feel like I just have a horrible voice. Maybe, I think we're all just a bit self-critical when we hear ourselves back on video and stuff, but I don't know. Do people, I mean, to be fair, like some people do have hot accents, or just like the sound of your crush's voice. Oh, anyway, I need to erase that out of my brain right now because I'm getting distracted. I'm on book 1 and I'm already distracted. So basically, it's kind of like there's lots of sneaking around, which I agree, it does make everything a bit more thrilling when you have to sneak around and kind of try and be undetected. But yeah, so she has to sneak around because her boss notices that she's distracted by her crush, and she forbids them from seeing each other. So yeah, I like a sneaky romance, a sneaky link. Next up, we've got End of Story. Now this one I randomly picked up in Waterstones, and because I just thought, oh, that's a cute cover. And then when I read the blurb, I was like, oh, actually this sounds quite interesting. So the idea is that basically this girl Susie inherits a house, I think it's from her aunt, yeah, beloved aunt, and it needs a lot of work doing to it, so it needs renovating. And so she hires someone to do the renovating, and the person that turns up is her ex's best friend. And so obviously it's very awkward between them. He's going to do the job, then off he goes into the sunset, and then she's got the house. So what attracted me to this book was the fact that this bit here, it says that they discover a divorce certificate hidden in the wall, dated 10 years in the future with their names on it. And I was like, oh, that's kind of creepy. Like, also really weird, because then it's like, obviously you then know that they're going to get together, or at least you think they're going to get together, because then can they change history? No, it's not history then, is it? Can they change the future? It's like Terminator. It's nothing like Terminator, but it's kind of like a whole thing. Like, if you knew how your future was going to pan out, like if you saw something and you were going to go on this kind of journey, but you knew the ending, would you still go on that journey? Would you bother? I don't know. Like, I sometimes think that about things that have happened to me. And sometimes I think to myself, God, I wish I didn't get myself into this situation. If I'd known it was going to be like this, I wouldn't have bothered. But at the same time, it's like you can't live life like that either. And then sometimes I think to myself, oh yeah, I would still do it. Like, I don't care. It's just the way it is. Oh, that's cute. I don't know. That's the question you guys can answer in the comments. Would you, if you knew, like if you were going to get involved with someone but you knew it was going to end in divorce, but like you were going to have some like amazing times together, but then it's all going to end badly, would you still go through that process? I don't know if I would or not. I actually genuinely don't know. I think it depends how much you like the person. Like, if I really like someone, I feel like I would probably just have no choice but to just go through it, because I just can't resist. Like, you just sort of fall for someone and all rationality goes out the window. And then I suppose you'd probably think, oh, we can change the future. Like, now we know sort of like it's going to end in divorce, but then maybe that's kind of what causes it, because they try so hard to change it that then it's like maybe it's just set in stone. I don't know. I don't know why I'm thinking about it this deeply. I just need to read it and find out what happens. Next up. Ow, the books. I'm leaning on the books. They were lower down than I thought. So I read The Love Hypothesis and I quite enjoyed it. It wasn't like the most life-changing book or anything, but it was light-hearted and I enjoyed it. So I thought I would give this one a go, which is by the same author, Ali Hazelwood. And the book is called Love on the Brain. And what I like about her books is it's all about sort of like STEM romances. I love a bit of science in my life. And anyone that knows me knows that I'm obsessed with space and NASA and everything like that. So this is right up my street, because literally it says here, if NASA offered her the lead on a neuroengineering project, a literal dream come true, Marie would accept without hesitation. Duh. But the mother of modern physics never had to co-lead with Levi Ward. So basically, we've got an enemies to lovers, I think, in this one, which is kind of very similar to her other story that I read, in the sense that they weren't necessarily enemies, but they were pretending to date and then they fell in love kind of thing. So this one here, however, definitely looks like
they're going to be enemies at the beginning. That's all I have to say on that one, really. That's why I picked it up. Next one, again, this is a author that I've read before, Emily Henry. I literally have completely gone blank on the book that I read, and it was a really good one as well. I really enjoyed it. Genius. I will put a picture up here and that will tell you what book I read. But yeah, it was a really good book. It was so good I can't remember what it was called. Nora is a cutthroat literary agent at the top of her game. Her whole life is books. Charlie is an editor with a gift for creating bestsellers, and he's Nora's work nemesis. It's an enemies to lovers kind of thing. Dun dun dun. But yeah. Apparently there's a sexy lumberjack in this book. What more can a girl ask for? Oh no, it says, oh, I read it wrong. There is no sexy lumberjacks. Sorry to disappoint. It says it's a small town straight out of a romance novel. But instead of meeting sexy lumberjacks, handsome doctors or cute bartenders, Nora keeps on bumping into Charlie. So she's going on a month's holiday. Wow, I wish I could go on a month's holiday. Well, now we're getting on to some like serial killer stuff. This is also right up my street. I love a good serial killer. I don't love serial killers. I'm not like one of those weirdos that write to killers in prison and confess my love. I'm not going to get married to some like guy on death row. I don't know why I felt the need to clear that up either. I just find serial killers interesting from the perspective as like what makes a person kind of just cross that line and kill. Because sometimes like people can really annoy you and you just think, oh, like, I just want to kill you. I'm assuming everyone feels that way. If not, then just ignore that last thing that I just said. But I want to know what kind of pushes someone over the edge and makes them be able to kind of disconnect with that part of humanity that stops you from killing people. That's what I find interesting. That's why I watch serial killer documentaries and all sorts of killer documentaries. I especially like it when... I'm going to stop. Oh, I feel like I need to kind of finish that sentence though, just so you know what I was going to say. I find it particularly interesting when it's from their point of view. So like I've watched one where it was like there were people on death row or just in prison for life in America. It's always America. And they were talking about sort of what they were in prison for. And most of them were saying like, oh, I'm innocent. But the ones that I found the most interesting were the ones that actually went, yeah, do you know what? I actually did it. And this is why I did it. Or this is how it happened. And I regret it or I don't regret it. I find that side of it really interesting as well as the kind of traditional, you know, like the Netflix series where they kind of take a murder or a case and you kind of go through it. And you've kind of have to make up your own. You think, oh, I could be a detective, and then you realise that actually most of a detective is just writing up paperwork and stuff and not actually going out. And yeah, anyway, that's got nothing to do with this. So this is Love in the Time of Serial Killers, and basically Phoebe Walsh is obsessed with true crime and she's analysing the genre in her dissertation, but she's spending time in Florida cleaning out her childhood home. Oh my god, who's texting me? I'm so popular today. Excuse me one moment. So anyway, what was I saying? So she's cleaning out her childhood home, and so I'm assuming her father, oh yeah, mourning her father. Yep, father's dead. Do you know what? I usually find it really difficult to read stories where parents have died and stuff. So hopefully there's not going to be a big thing about that in there, because the thought of like losing my father or something just... Sorry. But yeah, hopefully that's not a big part of the story. But yeah, basically it says here that she's convinced that her new neighbour is a serial killer. And then, but basically it says it's not long before Phoebe realises that Sam, this is the guy next door, might be something much scarier. A genuinely nice guy who can pierce her armour to reach her vulnerable heart. But part of me like just wants him to be actually a serial killer. Like imagine if he's like some kind of like Ted Bundy kind of guy and he's pretending to be all charming And then she's like, oh, actually, maybe he's not a serial killer. He's actually just a nice guy. He's gonna love me and have my babies. And then he like kills her because actually he was faking it the whole time. It's probably not going to be that kind of story, but if I were writing it, then it obviously wouldn't be a bestseller for a start, but I would definitely make it have like a plot twist that he actually is a serial killer. And he just, yeah. Next one, my killer vacation. So there's a bit of a theme here. So we're still in the kind of vacation, but this is like the dark turn. So this one here, I've completely actually forgotten anything about it. Let's just recap. It was supposed to be a relaxing vacation in sweet sunny Cape Cod, just me and my beloved brother. What is it with people going on holiday with their brother? Because in this one it's about a brother as well. How random. But discovering a corpse in our rental house really throws a wrench into our tanning schedule. That was pretty much as much if that was pretty much all I read of the blurb, and I was like, yeah, do you know what, I'm gonna read this book because it sounds funny. So it's got two different points of view. One is the bounty hunter, and one is a teacher. I'm a teacher. I could become like, oh my god, maybe like I'll have a romance like this. A girl can dream. It happened one summer. So this is by the same author as this one here, actually. So hopefully I'll like her writing. If not, then it's going to be a long old read. Yeah, so this one here is about a girl who she's basically being like cut off from like trust fund. That's the word I was trying to think of. So she's a wild child and she's being cut off from a trust fund, and she's basically got to learn some responsibility by running a dive bar. And she's going to meet a bearded sea captain. I don't know if I kind of imagine him to look cute like that. Like when I think of a sea captain that's bearded, I don't kind of imagine hot, but apparently he's hot. I mean, I do like a man with a beard, so. Tall man with beards, yes please. So if he's tall and he's got a beard, sign me up. But yeah, he basically thinks that she won't be able to do it, and I think she's going to try and prove him wrong. And of course, I think they're going to